6 lead acid batteries weigh about 380 pounds. Are one of these 87 pounds? Same 48 volt golf cart, way more power, way more range, way longer life. We're ripping out the entire battery bank in this cart and replacing it with one single lithium iron phosphate battery from a company called Temgo. Welcome back to Homestead Garage. If you're new here, this is where we take real do-it-yourself projects, break down how stuff actually works under the hood, and call it straight when something doesn't measure up. Today's project is a complete golf cart battery conversion. Out with the old flooded batteries, in with the new lithium iron phosphate battery from Temgo. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what comes in the box, how the installation goes step by step, the real science behind why lithium changes everything, and whether this specific battery is worth your hard-earned money. Quick disclosure before we start, Temgo sent me this battery at no charge. Nobody paid me to say anything you're about to hear. Every single opinion in this video is mine and mine alone. Here's the box. It shipped in double-walled cardboard, foam corners, packed pretty well for something this heavy. Let's open it up. So this is the complete kit. Let me lay everything out. You have got the battery itself, the dedicated charger, which is 56.8 volts at 18 amps, an LCD display screen with mounting bracket, a retention strap, and a bag of hardware. The battery, plastic ABS housing, stated IP65 waterproof rating. Dimensions are roughly 20 inches long, 10.5 wide, and 8 3/4 tall. Two main terminals, positive and negative, both protected with rubber covers. Now look at this stack of lead acid batteries that came out of this cart. 6 of them, 8 volts each. Each one weighs around 64 pounds. 6 times 64. That is 384 pounds of lead I am pulling out of this cart. Think about what that does for range, for top speed, for brake wear, for tire wear, for the stress on every bushing in the suspension. This is a massive change. The charger, 56.8 volts, 18 amps, standard plug. The manufacturer says full charge in 5 to 6 hours from empty. We will test that later. The LCD touchscreen interface shows state of charge, voltage, current draw, battery temperature, and cycle count. There is also a Bluetooth app on your phone, so you have got 2 ways to monitor this battery at the dash and on your phone. Before we tear into the install, let's talk about why lithium is such a big deal. If you have ever wondered why your lead acid batteries die in 3 or 4 years, why your range gets shorter every season, why you have to keep adding water to them, why they are so heavy, this is the segment for you. Lead acid technology was invented in 1859. That is not a typo, 1859. The chemistry has not fundamentally changed in over 160 years. It works, but it has real limitations. This Temgo battery uses a chemistry called lithium iron phosphate. You might see it written as LFP. It is one of several lithium chemistries on the market. You may have heard of NMC, which is what is in most electric cars and laptops. Lithium iron phosphate is different. It trades a little bit of energy density for a huge gain in safety and lifespan. It does not go into thermal runaway the way NMC cells can. You can actually puncture a lithium iron phosphate cell and it will not catch fire. Now let's talk about that 48 volt label. Technically, this battery is 51.2 volts, 16 cells wired in series, each cell sitting at 3.2 volts nominal. 16 times 3.2 equals 51.2. The reason it is called a 48 volt battery is because that is the system standard your cart's controller expects. Fully charged, this battery sits closer to 58 volts. Fully discharged, it drops to around 42. Now capacity, the label says 100 amp hours. But here's the part most people miss. With acid batteries, you can really only use about half of the rated capacity before you start permanently damaging the cells. So a 100 amp hour lead acid bank gives you about 50 usable amp hours. With lithium iron phosphate, you can pull 80 to 100% of the rated capacity without harming the battery. So this 100 amp hour Temgo gives you roughly the same usable energy as a 200 amp hour lead acid bank. That is why people say lithium effectively doubles your range. First thing first, safety. We are working with stored electrical energy that can hurt you very badly. Take off your rings, your watch, anything metal. Insulated gloves are a good idea. Before I touch anything, I want to document the state of these old batteries. Voltmeter on each one. 8.2, 8.1, 8.0, 7.9, 7.8, 7.6. The cells are out of balance. 2 of them are dropping fast under any load, which is exactly why this cart has been getting weaker every single month. Water levels, most of them are low. This one is basically dry. Classic lead acid problem. They lose water over time and you have to top them off with distilled water every couple of months, or you destroy them. Always disconnect the negative cable first. That is the ground side. If your wrench slips on a positive terminal, you do not want it touching the frame and creating a dead short across the entire bank. Negative first, then positive, working from one end of the series chain to the other. Cables off, hold down brackets off, and then the heavy part. Lifting these batteries out one at a time. Do not try to be a hero. They are 60+ pounds each, and your back will thank you for using your legs. There they go, all 6 out. Now is the perfect time to clean this tray up. Years of acid corrosion baked in there. I'm using a paste of baking soda and water to neutralize the acid, then wiping the whole thing down. Wire brush on the cable lugs, anti-corrosion spray on anything that is going to stay connected. Time to put the new battery in. Test fit first. Slides right in with room to spare. The original tray was sized for 6 batteries, totaling almost 400 pounds. Now it holds 1 battery weighing 87. We have got plenty of space. Position the battery so the terminals face the same direction your existing main cables come from. That makes wire routing way cleaner. Done. Retention strap. This is critical. You do not want 87 pounds of battery sliding around in the back of a moving vehicle. The included strap goes over the top, through the factory tie-down points, and you ratchet it down snug. Not crushing it, just secure enough that it is not going anywhere. Now the cables, the 2 big main cables that ran to your old battery bank are now your battery cables. Positive cable to the positive terminal, torque to spec, which the manual lists at around 15 Newton meters. Do not over tighten. Lithium battery terminals are softer than lead acid posts, and you can strip them if you go too hard. Negative cable to the negative terminal, same torque. LCD display. Comes with a mounting bracket. I am putting mine right on the dash where I can see it while I'm driving. Single cable runs back to a port on the battery. Plug and play, Bluetooth pairing. Download the Temgo app from the App Store. Power on the battery using the included switch. The app finds the battery, pair it, and now I can see real-time voltage, current draw, state of charge, and temperature right on my phone. Quick final check before we energize everything. All connections tight. No tools left in the engine bay. Strap snug. Cables routed clean, nothing rubbing on anything sharp. Display is showing 56.4 volts and 100% state of charge. Part power's up, forward gear, press the pedal. Listen to that, no hesitation. Oh yeah. This thing hits top speed in like 3 seconds, 26 miles an hour for a golf cart. The cart feels lighter, it feels faster. 300 pounds gone will do that. Now opening it up to top speed. 40 amps sustained, voltage holding rock steady, battery temperature is steady, voltage barely dipping. Compare that to what this cart was doing on tired lead acid 2 weeks ago. It would have been struggling, the voltage would have been sagging hard, the controller would have been cutting back on power. This is a completely different vehicle. I am going to do a follow-up video after I've put 50 cycles on this battery with real-world range numbers, so stay tuned for that. Okay, honest review time, what I like. The kit is generally complete. Battery, charger, display, straps, hardware. Most lithium battery setups, when you buy it, they're completely separate. You're gonna have to get the charger and the converters separate, and you're gonna spend a couple $100 extra bucks. Not here, the battery management system is solid. You get the charger, you get the display, and it's really easy to install. It has 200 amps continuous of peak capability, so it's guaranteed to help you with sustained loads of driving your cart further. The Bluetooth app actually works, which I honestly did not expect at this price point. The plastic ABS case is lighter than the metal version Temgo also sells, and it feels durable enough for a normal golf cart application. And the installation was, no joke, the easiest battery swap I have ever done. What I don't love, the plastic case, while lighter, does not feel quite as bulletproof as the metal case version. If I were using this in a more rougher environment like off-road or marine, I would spend that little extra money for the metal case version. And the low temperature charging cutoff at 32 degrees Fahrenheit is not a problem here in Florida. But if you live somewhere cold and store your cart in an unheated garage in the winter, you will need to factor that in. What I would change, I would love a longer charger cable. I would love the LCD display to have a better viewing angle in direct sunlight. Minor stuff. Would I buy this with my own money? Yes. If my old lead acid battery bank failed tomorrow and I had to choose between another lead acid setup or a lithium iron phosphate setup, I would go lithium every single time. The total cost of ownership math is not even close. One of these batteries versus 4 of the lead acid batteries will last easily 9 to 10 years and charge over 3,000 times. That is the install. That is the review. If this video helped you out, smash that like button. It really does help the channel grow. If you have got questions about your specific cart, drop them in the comments. Tell me what cart you have, what batteries you're running now, and what you're trying to accomplish. If you want to check out the battery yourself, the link is down in the description. I'm working on getting a discount code for you guys, and I will update the description if I can get one. Subscribe if you're new. Big projects are coming up to the channel, and you don't want to miss them. I'm Mark. This has been Homestead Garage. I'll catch you on the next one.